welcome back to the last and final episode of season 4 of Gameweek38, but of the 2024-2025 season. We are going into the end of the game week, but welcome to Gameweek38. My name is Katrishon Matiz. I'm your host, and as usual, I'm never alone. I'm with my co-host Mario. Mario, welcome, bro.
Never riding solo, my guy. What's happening, Gameweek39 world? We are back with another one. Hey, that might be the last time I say this.
Are you gonna come up with the new catchphrase and intro for the next season?
No.
You gotta freshen things up, eh?
Nah, my G, OG show, OG chant, OG entrance. But you know,
consistent.
We are here for our last show.
Yeah.
And what a show it will be.
Yeah.
A lot of good results. We were just arguing about goals of the season and assists of the season and teams of the season and all of these things. So, yeah, let's get to it, man.
You know what it is. It was a long game week. Started from on Friday. I think it ended last night, right? So It was Friday to Tuesday. So that's some good football. We also had a FA Cup final. History being made. Palace, winning, beating. I don't know. Should I say the almighty City or the all-fallen City?
Hey, Manchester City. How
KDB wanted something to live with, but nothing.
Yeah, no, he left with his heart in his hand. That's why he left it. But yeah, it was a sad scenes at Wembley on Saturday evening. Or joyous scenes for Crystal Palace, who apparently have won their first
major title ever.
I mean,
at the expense of Manchester City.
And I mean, they come back again, win 4-2 in the league after going down 1-0. I mean, and Eze showing up on both occasions.
Voted man of the match.
I'm sure he doesn't want the season to end.
Not at all.
But yeah, Man City losing the FA Cup.
We'll talk more about that. Let's not get too excited. But let's start with where the game week started. On Friday, we saw Villa versus Spurs, and we saw Chelsea and United. But maybe let's start with the Villa-Spurs game. Are you surprised by the result? I know I'm not. I think most of us had, stocked up on Aston Villa assets. I saw there were managers that had the likes of Martinez. I, for one, earlier before we jumped on the pod, you were talking about how I got Cons on my team. Yet I've had Cons over the past, I think, 3, 4, 5 game weeks. Spurs being Spurs. I mean, why are we surprised? Anyone who's surprised. But 2-0. We see some consistent players. Watkins disappointed a few managers because I think he was one of the most transferred in players. But he only managed, I think, an assist. Rogers also went into the scoreboard there, but Konsa being the biggest rewarder for managers. Yeah,
Konsa and Cucurella tied for players of the game with 15 points apiece. Good pick up on Konsa, especially for that game. Spurs have been awful. I mean, when these last 5 game weeks, when managers have been planning their teams, they're looking at, okay, who's playing Leicester, who's playing Southampton, who's playing Ipswich, who's playing Man United, and who's playing Spurs. Yeah. And then you try and bring in those 5 players. So I think that will be the theme even going into the final game. They really have nothing to play for. And the league sitting at 16th and 17th, respectively, or unrespectively, I don't know. However you want to take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, great performance by Aston Villa. They did what they were supposed to do. Buried a weak Tottenham team, which plays the Europa League final.
Yes, and solidifying their position, going into, fighting for that top 4 or rather your Champions League spot now.
I don't know if me and you have different definitions of solidify, but they ain't solidifying.
No, but they needed that. They needed that. No. Let's get some facts straight. Had they lost that game, that it would have been.
What were the chances they lose against us?
No, but you know what I'm saying.
But then they kept their hopes alive. Let's put it like that. And they play Man United next. I mean, that's another donation of 3 points. So I guess Chelsea have to make sure they beat Nottingham. And Newcastle have to make sure they beat Everton. Before
we get to that, while we're still on Chelsea having to do this and that, they did the job against Man United. Earlier we were just talking about
the double header of Friday.
The brilliant play that led to the goal that saw Chelsea take all 3 points there from Reece assisting and Kukureya. Your thoughts? I'm sure you went crazy when you saw that.
And what an assist it is.
You celebrated
I don't know
like
if
nobody's business.
if you were in the group on Friday night when that assist happened, but I literally said the right back God. Right back God.
Gods do
Siamo,
not.
please put
gods,
in that assist
gods,
here.
No.
Please
God,
put in that.
gods,
Cue the assist of the right back God.
Gods do not spend time on a hospital bed.
Because I mean, that is the Reece James that before he got injured, everyone was saying, when he won the Champions League, everyone was saying that it's the best right back in the world. I mean, he took Garnacho, took him this way, put him in his pocket, then the other. I mean, Garnacho was left wondering in which direction Reece James went. And by the time he realized where Reece James was, he was putting in a worldly of a cross. And I mean, it could not have found a better head. Kukureya has been in hot form. The top goal scoring defender this season with 5 goals. I mean, he's been
also scoring the bonus points on that game.
He's been in an immense form. But yeah, kudos goes to that Reece James. No, not Reece James. To the right back God.
I mean, a lot of us can argue that on any day. But anyway, if that's what you're gonna call him, and we know that he might not even start the first. He might not even start the first 10 game weeks because he's gonna pick up an injury off season. I don't see the difference. The only difference is that
Siamo literally wants to kill me. It's Manchester. I hope Manchester United wins today. I'm sorry, my nigga, but
make up for that. All right, let's move on, Mario.
Garnacho is still looking for Reece James right now. That's how lost he was.
Mario, we also saw the West Ham versus Nottingham game. Nottingham also needing points and going and getting all 3 points. Which puts them in 7th position, sitting on 65 points. So they're still, within the mix of making it into Champions League. But your thoughts about that game? I mean, the likes of Gerard Bowen, he went on to score. I brought him in literally for this game, and I'm likely going to be keeping him going into Gameweek38. But we see the likes of Gibbs White. I was disappointed to have Milenkovic on my bench, and I see he got some 8 points. I'm not sure if you had him on your team. Yeah, you did, yes, and you ate there. Huh?
I played a bench boost this past game week.
Yes, you did. We're gonna talk about that.
Scored 71 points, but yeah, Gibbs White has been in good form. He's been fighting hard for the boys. I mean, it's 2 goals in 2 games now for him. Not the guy who Nottingham Forest usually goes to for goals.
Yes,
but he is a conductor in that team. He gets in his assists, he puts in the hard miles. Usually it's the pass before the pass. So I guess, he's been in good form. I don't know if I'd bring him in against Chelsea with the right back God there, but then,
unfortunately you guys won't get to see me laugh at this man after Sunday.
But then
when Nottingham humbles you.
But yeah.
And you miss out on Champions League. Where will the red back God be?
But good performance against weak West Ham.
Oh, well, it's a rejuvenated
week. Rejuvenated 1 week.
Not good enough. Not good enough on the day.
It's a topsy-turvy there.
Yeah.
But they did what they had to do. Now they have to beat Chelsea or play. But I mean, Nottingham Forest going into the season survived relegation at the end of last season. They barely survived relegation at the end of last season. Not in their wildest dreams did they think they would play Champions League football. Not in their wildest dreams.
So they think they'd be even competing on the last day for Champions League.
I mean, to take it down to the wire. I mean, for a long part of the season, with the form they showed, we really did think that they might do it. But I think they still have a chance. I think they will definitely play European football. It's just the same as Chelsea, obviously. Just a matter of who wants it more come Sunday. So we will see. We will see if the boys are hungry.
All right. I want us to quickly also touch on the Brentford versus Fulham game. You maxed out on the Brentford assets. I didn't have a single one. I think that was a bit of a slip on my side because both Wisa and Mbuemo returned, and I think even the transfer-ins that were happening prior to this game were indicating that as a manager you needed to have that. But unfortunately, Brentford lost that game. But I think as FPL managers, you're quite satisfied now with the returns.
Not really.
Don't be selfish, man. The penalty miss from Mbuemo.
To you earlier, there were a lot of things that didn't go my way. Although I did score 71 points, could have easily been 90 to 100 points.
Probably this is the closest you've ever gotten to the 100 club. You never entered the 100 club this season.
Are you out of your mind?
Can we check?
Yes, we can definitely do.
We'll check. Semo, let's check how many times you got into the 100 club. I think this is the highest scoring he's ever scored.
Are you out of your mind? I've scored several times higher than this, but anyway. I don't even know how to respond to such tomfoolery.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
Yeah, the numbers don't lie. Siamo put it up for me. Put up all the 100s and 90s. All the scores I've had over 71 since he's saying this is my highest score. And he'll probably run out of screen space. There are quite a few. But anyway,
let's see.
Brentford, Mbuemo missed the penalty. They should have won that game. But Fulham have been in good form. They're both vying for a spot in Europe.
Raul Jimenez also there. Wilson also there in the goals.
Yeah, they're both vying for a spot in Europe. But I favored Brentford in this fixture. They were winning. I think they were comfortable. Mbuemo even missed a penalty. I mean, and he was my captain. If he scores that penalty, he gets 5 points plus the 2 points for the missed penalty plus 3. That's 10.
Could have.
So that means I get 20 points on my score.
Only got 5 points.
That's 90. I would have been on 91 now. And then plus Saliba getting subbed off at half time. That's my 5 points for my clean sheets. That's 96. And then Kevin De Bruyne misses that sitter. That's another 5 points.
Let's get back to the Mbuemo.
And I'm on 100. And I'm on 103. And I'm like 3 points ahead of you.
Yeah.
Like as we speak, and now you owe me a beer.
But where are you now?
But I mean,
you're lingering in 40 points behind.
Like that has been the story of my season. Like I've made very good moves. I've been the better manager between the two of us. It's just that
numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie, baby.
I've been unfortunate with one or two things going. I'm not going my way in the game. But yeah, Brentford will bounce back probably.
Hundreds. The Arsenal versus Newcastle game. I knew that this one, it's gonna really. I couldn't predict it honestly. But I see Arsenal turned out being the victors there.
Yeah, slight 1-0 victory. I thought it was gonna be a 0-0. To be honest. Yeah. So I had Saliba on my bench boost. Unfortunately, he got injured and went out. I don't know, was it half time? So that sucks. And I was planning to bring him in for the final game because he has Southampton. So that sucks double. So you see a lot of good moves just don't go my way.
He played for 5 minutes.
Yeah, off at half time. But then at least they could have taken him off at 60. But then Arsenal qualify for Champions League. Probably gonna finish second again.
That would have been the biggest joke for the rest of the off-season, Arsenal missing Champions League.
But I mean, they're a joke anyway. Whether they make Champions League or not. I mean, they finished second again. No trophy again. We're going into 2026. They can't win a possible trophy in 2025.
They're hopeful. They're hopeful that they're going to win it next season.
But I'm saying in 2025, it's done.
No, they're hopeful that they're going to win it. 25, 26, they're hopeful that they're going to win.
2025, this calendar year, it's done.
It's over for
It's
Arsenal.
closed. That's why counting by years. We're not counting by season. So the last one in COVID, where there was no fans. They haven't lifted a trophy since fans returned.
So you're saying Arsenal will not lift anything?
So if we're going to 2026, you're saying now we're going into the 5th year of Arsenal not winning a trophy. It's 21. 22,
so next season you don't think
24, 25 is finished. They're not winning anything. That was the point I'm trying to say. It's 5 full years with no
How long has
Club
Arteta been there
final.
for?
I think this is his 7th season. Almost.
When did Unai leave? Because he replaced Unai.
Oh no, it's not his 7th season. It's his 5th season.
5th season. So all of those 5 seasons that Arteta has been there,
He won the FA Cup.
He won the FA Cup.
And then that's it. And and he says he won the Community Shield twice. I don't know if that counts, but to some people it does. Miles was counting. Super Cup, which is also similar to Community Shield. So
I don't know. I don't know. Okay.
Those are curtain raiser cups. So, yeah.
All right. That's Mario saying he doesn't think Arsenal will be winning anything anytime soon. It's been 5 seasons.
Maybe 2035.
2035.
I give them a good chance to win the Carabao Cup in 2035.
On Monday, Brighton butchered Liverpool 3-2. I was watching this game. I think I was also texting in the group that these boys were hungry. They were cooking. On our side, I guess I have nothing much to say about this. It was a great goal from Szoboszlai. At some point, we did look like we were dominating the game, but Mitoma came in and that boy was cooking.
Yeah, you guys have been poor since winning the league. I think we beat you 3-1, was it?
I think so, yes. 3-1 with the penalty from Cole Palmer at the end.
Oh, Palmer even scored. It was nice. We spanked that ass. Brighton spanked that ass. We playing last Crystal Palace probably gonna spank that ass too.
Yeah.
So,
I'd rather be laughing at these jokes with the title in the bag than not be holding into anything and fighting for Champions League and likely going to get butchered by Notting and humbled.
There's this good man I work with, Faisal. I was telling him, I think I saw him yesterday, I was telling him, I hope he's prepared for this to continue.
What is that?
Because this is a sign of things to come. And this is the future of Liverpool.
Hearing this from a Chelsea,
Chelsea
man.
This is the direction.
Who's been suffering for so long.
This is the direction it's going, my friend. So it's fine. Just dive yourself in. Just understand that next season is going to be a very, very difficult season. But then
you've been
I'll
traumatized. You're so desperate for winning to the point that you're even bewitching.
I'm not bewitching Liverpool. Traumatized for winning. My team almost wins ever since I started supporting Chelsea. I don't think a season has ended. Okay, maybe one.
Let's see.
Maybe one. Yes. 1 year, 1 day.
What did you
1 year, 1 day.
Oh, this season you're playing conference. You're playing
1 year, 1 day. Without me at least being happy about winning a trophy. I think the worst run we ever had maybe was 2 years.
So now
2 years without winning something. 2 seasons.
What's your point?
Liverpool is figured out. Slot is figured out. I'll take it back to Man City's FA Cup final, where you didn't let me to take in just one quote.
Yes, where we played Newcastle and
no, with Newcastle. Besides Newcastle, who had figured you guys, who showed us that they figured you guys out in the Carabao Cup final. Then Maresca showed us he's figured you guys out as well.
Wow.
He showed you in the first leg when you guys stole.
When there's nothing to play for, and then now you're gonna be saying. But we'll see how the season goes. Let's wrap up Brighton. Let's wrap up Brighton and Liverpool.
Yeah, no, I think Liverpool probably gonna lose their next game as well.
Yeah, I think whether we lose, I think we're the most just fans, regardless.
It's fine. It's fine. You guys are the champions. Celebrate. Just don't get too drunk over the off season. Brighton are fighting for European football as well with Brentford and Fulham.
Correct. So, because there will be 8 positions. By the way, I think we didn't disclose that. Just the fact that Crystal Palace won the FA Cup on Saturday. And the fact that
it actually reduced the number of spots.
No, it increases.
If Crystal Palace had won, if Man City had won the FA Cup, they were likely going to qualify for Europe anyway. So the next position on the table would have gotten the FA Cup.
I got that understanding the other way around.
European qualifying spot. So you see now that Palace has
so now-
automatically
so-
taken it. So therefore, it doesn't move to a league place side. So now the European spots are less. Because if Chelsea win the Conference League, and then qualify for what you call that Europa and finish in the top.
You know that the top 5. You know that Champions League is gonna have 5 teams, right?
Yes, it's gonna be.
So whoever finishes in the top 5 is gonna go into the Champions League.
Number 6 is Europa League.
Number 6 is Europa.
Number 7 is Conference League.
It's Conference League. But do you know who's gonna be in Conference League? Palace is gonna be in Conference League.
No, Palace is gonna be in Europa League.
No, sorry. Yes. Yes, because they won the FA Cup.
So you see that 8th spot is no longer
It's not open.
It's no longer European position anymore.
No, but think about this. I think you're forgetting one thing. Manchester United or Tottenham, if they win.
No, my point was not how many English teams are gonna play European competition.
Okay, it's the positions.
It was who's fighting for Europe via league position.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the teams that were fighting for Europe via league position were done a disservice by Man City not winning the Champions League, because this position would have meant.
But I still say we'll have to check that. We'll actually have to check that, because I got a different understanding of that. That if Palace won, it means that now 8th position can also qualify for Europe. But we'll see. We'll just get those figures and then post it on the chats. But I'm also interested. I think we can both agree that there'll be 8 teams, given the fact that 2 of them are playing in the final for Europa, which is United and Spurs.
9.
They can't be 9. That's going to be too much.
No,
it's going to be 8. It's going to be 8 teams.
Unless Chelsea finish 7th. If Chelsea finish 7th, then 8th gets Conference League.
Yeah, but regardless, it's 8 teams that are going to go in, right?
No. If Chelsea finish 7th, then this position becomes Europe. Well, that's why they're still fighting for it. In case Chelsea finish 7th. Because if Chelsea finish 7th and win the Conference League, then they don't play. Then the position of 7th that goes to the Conference League, the 7th goes to the Conference League player, which should be Chelsea, but they're going to Europa League by virtue of winning Conference League. Therefore, 8th will get the Conference League.
Yeah.
So that's why they're fighting for
that one. Right.
So the downfall is
we'll just also post that on the socials. I think there was an article that was explaining all of this.
So the downfall of Chelsea is wanted by so many teams. They'll be praying for it.
Let's talk about last night's fixtures, Mario, quickly. Palace 4-2. I think you touched on it. Eze coming through, winning.
Wolves disappointing man of the end of the season.
Man of the match, but Nketiah getting all maximum bonus points. But we saw Nketiah scoring 2 goals there at thingy. I was quite disappointed because I had Mateta, if I'm not mistaken. I
sold all my Palace players.
And he was benched for Nketiah, who came on to do very well. But yeah, I mean, Cunha also benched. We hear that Cunha is going to United. I don't know if that has been confirmed.
He is going to United.
Is that the reason why he was benched, you think?
Probably.
Yeah, because that was also a surprise.
Saving the assets, because you lose that 63 million if he gets injured.
You're right. But I don't know if there anything.
How do you feel about Cunha coming to United? Yeah.
It's the hope that kills.
It's the hope you think that kills. You guys are gonna ruin Cunha, but he's such a dynamic and explosive player. If you guys can ruin Cunha.
Our cameraman is a big United fan, but unfortunately he's supporting the wrong team.
Supporting the right team at the wrong time.
Yeah, you should have supported it back in the fakey days. The moment the old man left, you should have burned those t-shirts, because you're never going to see glory again. But anyway, I think we can move on from that one. City 3-1 as well. I think we touched on a bit. Maybe also speaking of transfers, Liverpool quite interested in Kekas from Bournemouth.
So after signing Frimpong.
And after signing Frimpong, so we're doing business quite early, which is good, so that pre-season at least we have all the players, we start to see exactly what's happening. But 3-1, KDB, last match at home. I was hoping that he's going to shine, but unfortunately he was unlucky. Marmoush took the spotlight with the spectacular goal.
Probably contender for goal of the season, definitely.
I wouldn't disagree. But yeah, I don't know, anything else you want to add from this?
KDB Mr. Sitter. But applaud the legend. What a legend. What a guy.
I mean, FPL will not be the same without that man. You remember back in his prime?
I don't think he's been a huge factor on FPL for at least the last 2 seasons.
No, but in his prime,
But I mean,
I was specific. In his prime, you needed to have KDB.
In his prime, definitely. And
him and Aguero back then. Yes,
Aguero!
FPL.
I'm sure you hate the sound of that.
Yeah, you'll never. Whenever that clip, I remember exactly where I was when I was watching that game.
In Hatfield with some friends of mine in Manchester
with monitors looking at the United camp, sort of like low-key celebrating there, and I'm watching this Manchester City that is rising from the ashes.
Falling over. When it's falling over, everyone thinks, no, surely he's lost the ball.
And this is
his
extra
last
time.
kick flick to Aguero, Peter Drury.
Wait.
Aguero!
But that Aguero, he could have gone for a penalty because he also just skipped over a tackle.
But forget that. That's not the moment.
That is key.
That is not the moment.
That tackle, a poor striker would have decided to take a penalty, seeing that is the last minute.
A poor striker.
But
then
Aguero
didn't want to leave it to chance to penalty kicks and whatnot and the referee's decision. That guy, one of the greatest title. I'm not a United or Man City fan, but
that was one of the most, I think, one of the most iconic football moments
for a league.
We were lucky enough to live to witness and to be watching, not on highlights, live.
It wasn't a cup competition.
In a jam-packed environment, and the decider on Gameweek38. So on this Sunday, on the last kick
of the last game week of the last game.
And we didn't know, as Liverpool fans, that was the beginning of the pain that we're going to suffer for the next coming few years. Because they went on to dominate, and hopefully that is the end of an era. We see this old age squad going. Pep must go. Everyone.
But Pep is cooked. Even if he stays, I'm not really.
There's nothing you can
afraid
do.
about
It is the end of an era, in my opinion. I saw Rodri coming back. I was like, what is an old age Rodri even going to do?
After coming back from such surgeries, I don't think he'll be the same. But Kevin De Bruyne, you were once a Chelsea player. We found you in the slums of Ghent, and we brought you up and you betrayed us. I'm joking. Jose Mourinho didn't believe in young players, and that's what happened. He sold him to Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg sold him back to Man City, and the rest is history. One of the greatest
that ever graced the Premier League. All right, Mario, let's look at our head-to-head, which is drawing to an exciting end. Exciting, because I'm leading you 40 points. Mario is on the verge of doing some crazy things here.
I tried. I fought the good fight. I should have 103 points.
He said he could have. But anyway, let's just look at it. I scored 55 points, Mario. I captained Rogers, who gave me 12 points. And I had 3 transfers. I think you'll recall that I forgot to make transfers last, so I had bagged quite a few. I didn't need to take a minus. You scored 71 points. You activated your bench boost, and I have to give you kudos for this one because your bench really scored you a lot of points. I mean, Pickford 6, McNeil 6, Mikalenko 8. So that is the art of how to play a bench boost.
Saliba killed me going off at half time. He could have went off 15 minutes later, and I would have.
Yeah, and that would have been a whitewash. That would have been a whitewash
sweep.
That is, and you brought in Vardy. Vardy goes on to score. I mean, that is also a differential.
It was also like a sentimental thing because it's his last game. His 200th game for Leicester. His last game at home his 200th goal for Leicester, excuse me. He was on 199 goals. So I just wanted him to score one, and I wanted to own him one last time for that season.
Yeah.
That magical season. Also another one who's leaving. A great team, what a great career, what a great player.
Yeah.
What a loyal player.
It's Jamie Vardy. I mean, I'll never forget the goal that he scored against Liverpool.
That one that
against
came over the shoulder.
Mignolet.
I just don't understand.
Football can really confuse you sometimes. Like, how does someone score from there?
But that was a shot. Even you saw that
No,
volley.
but listen. How do you, let's just relive that moment, Mario. How do you hit a ball from there and it
With
beats
the
the
bravery,
goalkeeper. The
even.
bravery to do that.
But that was a shot. I think even if Mignolet, even if it
You know what
was
it reminds
Alisson,
me
he
of?
would have had a
You know
hard
what
time
it reminds
keeping
me
that
of?
out.
It reminds me of 2010 World Cup when Van Bommel from
With the left foot
with the
from
left
the
foot,
left
literally
touchline.
almost from the same position,
Yeah.
and he scores as well.
You see, brilliant goals.
and
Amazing
then obviously
goals.
the greatest of
I don't
them
know.
all.
I don't know how that didn't win goal of the. Oh, it's because of the scorpion. There are a lot of those scorpion kicks that season. The Giroud scorpion kick season.
No.
Why did that not win goal of the
How
season?
did that not even win? You're right. What I think it's the Giroud one. Was it the Giroud one? Arsenal scoring the scorpion
kick?
kick?
One was fire.
Because it didn't even make top 3 if it was. I don't think it was the same
think-
season, because on that same season we had the South African goalkeeper from Golden Arrows who scored.
No, I don't mean for
Pukas.
For Pukas. I mean for Premier League. With the Puskas, I understand those.
No,
there was
but Van
Zlatan.
Bommel was the World Cup in South Africa, so unless I think it won in that category of the
No,
World Cup.
I mean, I think we're talking about one thing, but in two different contexts. You're speaking in Puskas terms
Yes,
for the
Puskas
world.
for
I'm
the world.
saying I don't understand how Jamie Vardy's goal didn't win Premier League
Oh,
goal of the
I
season.
see.
Because Puskas I can understand a lot of goals.
You think a scorpion
that I
kick
mean.
is better than that thing from Jamie Vardy? Anyone can
but
score a scorpion kick.
Anyone can score a scorpion kick.
That
Name the
Golden
score.
Arrows keeper scored it also.
Where?
Okay, it didn't score.
We named the people who
But,
scored. Mkhitaryan scored one.
uh,
It wasn't as good.
uh,
And it was offside. Giroud's one was literally perfect. I've never seen a scorpion kick
Probably
like
that's
that
the
before.
reason. Probably that's
and
the reason
after.
why it didn't
If it
win.
was the same season.
But
that
I
Vardy
wanted
goal
to
was-
finalize by saying that looking at those great goals that look almost impossible, I'll never forget the Ibrahimovic goal from when he was playing
Halfway line,
Sweden,
Sweden
but
against-
it was not just a kick;
against
it was a
England,
bicycle
the
kick.
bicycle
That is insane! Like that is unreal.
Fire.
But anyway, we're just
That is
reliving
one
some
of my
great
favorite
football.
goals
That is
of
debate. I
all
wouldn't
time.
disagree. If you haven't watched that, I mean, second to that obviously is Ronaldo over jumping all the Juventus players and scoring that.
I don't think that's the second greatest
Ah,
goal
that
of
is
all
the
time.
second greatest goal of all time.
Iconic. It might be one of the greatest bicycle
Iconic.
kicks of all
Iconic.
time. But second greatest goal of all
Which one is the
time.
greatest?
out of
Which one is the
freaking
second greatest goal?
Well, now there's Rooney's halfway line, Beckham's halfway line, there's Van Bommel,
get out of
there's
Anyway,
plenty
let's
of
move on,
volleys.
let's move
There's Zinedine Zidane semi-final, Michael Essien
No,
semi-final.
when you speak of Zizou's one, yes, yes, that one
there's
is-
a lot
yes,
of
yes,
goals.
yes.
What do you mean Michael Essien's one was even better?
I don't remember. That.
The one against Barcelona.
I don't remember. That.
What's that?
Anyway, so let's go to the standout players, Mario. As you said earlier, that I think defenders were doing the most. They were cooking. We have a joint equal of king of the game weeks between Kukareya and Konsa, both scoring 15 points. Following that, I think we have also joint seconds. There's quite a lot of team players that joined second this past game week. We see Elliott with 13 points from Liverpool. We see Ndia from Everton also scoring 13 points, and Edin Ketia from Crystal Palace also scoring 13 points. And then third position we see James Justin from Leicester City. So definitely defenders were cooking this
Those
past.
are on top.
Yeah, no, they were on top with the goals. I mean, they're the ones coming with the goals. We're the strikers in that. But Mario, I mean, it's been a season. It's been a great season. Maybe before we move into just a recap, actually, there's not really much to recap about in terms of strategies, because I think most of the managers have used most of their cards. I would like to assume
Yeah, I don't think any manager has more than one chip at the moment.
right now, right?
So probably a bench boost or a wild card or a free hit or a triple captain.
And according to all the strategies that we started speaking about back in game week 25,
Is there any that says that you should still have a chip right now?
no, none of them says you should still have a chip. So there's no chip for 37. There was no chip for 38. We're going into 38. You have a wild card. I have a wild card. It's gonna go down to the captains.
You have a wild card?
I have a triple captain. Sorry. You have a triple captain. Did you use your wild card?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Okay. So we're both holding a triple captain. You have a 40-point deficit to cover.
I wish I had used yours. But it's the same. I've been
I don't-
horrible with captains this season.
You have
Bruno
never
missed
been
it.
good with captains. Let's not even make it
Bruno
about this
even
season.
missed a
Let's,
penalty.
let's first get
And
facts
also
straight.
things.
When it comes to captaincy, you know that you come second best. You're
Okay.
good at coming back.
What do you mean coming back? Because I'm leading you. You're going to equalize in
You are good at coming back.
Race. Now you're going to
You
equalize.
you are good at coming back.
But it's okay.
But in terms of
That shouldn't
captaincy,
be-
you've
this
been
shouldn't-
terrible,
this
and
shouldn't
hence
be
now you're
happening.
conceding because you know that you're gonna make a terrible choice. Previous game week, you made a terrible choice. My captain scored more points than you.
But is it my fault when Bremen missed a penalty? That's 10 points.
Is
right
it my
there.
fault that he missed the penalty?
If he scored those 10 points, I'm talking about 30 points from Bremen just from his captain.
That's gonna be the story of your
So-
season. You're gonna be talking about could have, would have, but I don't know. We're gonna talk about who you're possibly gonna captain. I don't know if you're gonna tell me because there's a lot at stake.
I'm captaining Peter Schmeichel.
Who is he playing? I've never seen a negative captain.
Evan FC.
Have you seen a negative captain? Minus one triple captain. What would that give you?
-2, I would assume.
-2. Okay.
I
That
would
will be
assume.
the first worst triple captain I've ever seen. You'll probably be invited to the show there on FPL. Anyway, Mario. But as I was saying, that no strategy speaks of triple captain. So, which makes sense because it's tough to even know who's gonna do well this coming game week.
It is tough to predict. A lot of teams vying for a lot of things. I'm tired.
Just cut Mario there. But
Yeah,
besides this, we have 9 to 5s that actually fun for this show,
Yeah,
right?
my brother.
So
I
until-
am tired.
until-
I've been working. I've been working since last week Monday. I haven't had a single day off.
Yeah.
I've been getting in every day at 8.
Yeah,
leaving
no.
either at 4 or 6 since last week Monday. So you can understand.
Would like to give you a tap on the back to say sorry, but you know you have to work.
No, I'm
you
a
have to
man.
work, I'm a man.
There's no time for sorry. But are we on fixtures, upcoming fixtures? Right?
No, we're not. But I think we can move on to upcoming fixtures. We know that it's going to be a.
Since you said I must co-host more. Okay, upcoming fixtures, Katu. What are you looking forward to? We've got Man City versus Fulham, Ipswich versus West Ham, Arsenal versus Southampton.
Wait. Say that again. So there's Ipswich.
There's Ipswich versus West Ham,
Yeah.
Man City versus Fulham, Southampton versus Arsenal. Hey, Fulham, I like the form Fulham is in. Please chow Man City.
But what position? Or they would fall off the top 5.
If they chow Man City, Man
If
City is
they-
on 68. That
Arsenal plays Southampton. This is almost a guaranteed win, I hope.
means the goal defense is great. And Arsenal might even play kids. So I don't even know if we must target that fixture. Because they might not play Wasaka, no Martinelli and whatnot.
Because they've already qualified.
And also the second place is guaranteed unless Man City go and beat Fulham 8-0.
If Chelsea, if City loses, yes, they could actually fall out of the Champions League.
Yeah,
If
Chelsea win,
if Chelsea wins, Chelsea has to win. Newcastle
we'll
has
have
to win. Yeah. So Newcastle has to
They
win.
could.
Chelsea has to win,
and Villa.
and Villa have to win.
And then
And
Man City play Europa League if Fulham chows them.
that would be the most disappointing, the perhaps worst season.
Imagine Pep in the Europa League. Hey, that would be
Amara, you
sad.
do well.
Of course, if 16th and 17th place Manchester United and
he'll
and
do-
Tottenham City are playing
It's a good-
the
it's a-
final in 50 minutes,
it's a good time
then
to
of
reset.
course that would happen. But I mean,
But you were still asking me the fixtures. Yes.
and then we've got Brentford versus Wolves. I like that one. I
Brentford
think Wolves
versus
have been on
Wolves.
the decline. Brighton is gonna spank that Spurs ass so hard. Pause. Yeah, I like those fixtures for me. How about you? What are your thoughts? Break them down for me.
I think you spoke about Ipswich and Bowen, right? I have listen to me saying Ipswich and Bowen. Ipswich and West Ham. I have Bowen there, so I'm quite happy with the fact that I don't need to worry about that fixture in terms of probably targeting points. I mean, Ipswich has been relegated. I don't know what they're playing for.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Southampton as well. It's just about finding the right assets in those teams.
So specifically Ipswich and West Ham, I think it's a no-brainer. Right now, looking into the most transferred in players, we see Bowen leading that pack. Most of the managers are bringing in Bowen, probably also targeting that Ipswich fixture. So yeah, I think for managers that probably are looking to ship out players, I mean, there were managers that probably were holding on to some Arsenal assets, targeting probably that Southampton fixture, but also with what you just mentioned now, the fact that they have nothing to play for. Bowen wouldn't be a bad idea to get rid of Saka, and probably jump onto him. He's been consistent in terms of returning. 8 points in the previous game that he played against Nottingham, 8 against United, 9 against Tottenham, 10
Sounds
against
like a
Brighton.
triple captain candidate, don't you think?
You know what I mean? But let me not give you ideas because you're terrible at making those decisions. But yeah, I think those are my thoughts, Mario, in terms of that fixture. It is definitely one that I'm going to look at. And as you said, definitely a contender for the captain's armband. I think you also mentioned, did you say Southampton and Arsenal?
I mentioned Fulham and Man City. How do you think that one's going to go, considering they both have things they're fighting for?
What is Fulham fighting for? Europe?
Yeah, ultimately, where are they?
I don't know. I mean,
Fulham is... Oh, no. They can't make Europe.
No. Fulham...
It's down to Brentford and Brighton.
Yeah.
For that 8th spot.
So the one thing about, I think, Fulham that we've learned about this Fulham, especially of this season...
So Man City might actually win because Fulham don't really have anything to play
They don't have anything to play for, but Fulham have that... I don't know.
They don't want to finish behind Palace, Bournemouth.
I don't know how to describe it. Maybe you might have a better vocabulary to use for this one. But they have that thing of they're not afraid of anyone. I don't think they're going to be going to...
Fearless.
They're fearless. They're not going to be defending against the Manchester City. They're not going to be, not playing their best players. We saw Raul Jimenez, we saw Iwobi, we see the likes of Wilson. These are all attacking assets. Not to mention their defense. There was some good Robinson. He's had a, I think, great season for FPL specifically. To mention
breakthrough season for him.
A breakthrough season for him. So I think it wouldn't be anyone who has those Fulham assets, specifically the attackers, I wouldn't write it off. I mean, Manchester City is not the same. Defensively, they are frail this season. But at the same time, I mean, this is a Manchester City that is fighting for something. Probably the only thing that is left to fight for.
Seeing as they got chout in the FA Cup final.
So,
and you saw that video I sent in the group where Thomas Frank was asked,
yes.
if you meet
Man
City.
Was it Frank? No.
Yeah,
it's the manager of...
not Thomas
yes,
Frank. What's his name?
I see him.
Yeah, the manager of Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
When they asked him, if you meet Man City in the FA Cup final, how do you think you'll fare against them? Because if you remember in that game, Man City won, was it 4-2 or 5-2? Palace were 2-0 up for a long time in that game. Before Man City came back and then ultimately won it in the second half.
Yeah.
And he said he went to Pep after the game and told him if he plays in the same way again and they meet, he will solve that problem. And what did Pep go do? Play in the same way. And people have been solving that problem and spanking that ass. Pause.
So, but yeah, I mean, this fixture can go either way, but I think there are points to be scored. I'd like maybe KDB to have a good exit, a young hat-trick. Possibly.
I don't think he's gonna get it.
I don't think he's gonna get it. But just for him to at least have something to bow out for. I mean, with the Premier League football. I mean, obviously this is us hoping, and obviously I'm putting on my FPL manager hat because I have KDB. But I think Mario. I don't know. There will be goals, but I cannot necessarily predict where this one would go. But if I was to be forced, I guess an upset for me would be very, very pleasant. So even if it's a 2-1 upset, late winner for Fulham, that would be solid.
Spurs is gonna get shot by Brighton, and they're gonna finish with 38 games, 38 points.
Who's this?
Spurs.
38 games, 38 points.
You shouldn't laugh because Villa is going to chow Man United, and they're going to finish with 38 games, 39 points. This is sad.
I was looking at...
And Villa is going to chow United. That's
there was a post.
It's almost guaranteed.
There was a
and
post.
It's Old Trafford again.
There was a post that was published, I think, on Sky News on Instagram.
38, 39.
Top 10 most valued football clubs globally, and Spurs was in the top 10.
How did it even make it there?
I mean, I think it's more of how they run the business. I think they run a great
like
business. The business model.
I've only ever met one guy that's a sports Spurs, like in real life. I know they're fans, that they exist somewhere in the world.
I also know one guy. He's a former colleague of mine.
I've only ever met one guy.
And I've never met anyone else. also support Spurs.
Never met anyone else that supports Spurs.
But speaking of Spurs and them finishing this low with 38 points in 38 games, being one of the top 10 most valued clubs, with probably one of the biggest stadiums in the Premier League, with the new build stadium. I mean, that stadium was built for Europe, I'm sure. Now they're going to be hosting concerts there because there's not going to be any Europe there.
Concerts,
Taylor Swift.
cricket games,
Imagine.
test matches.
South Africa going there to butcher the Three Lions as well.
Yeah, you see, rugby games.
Burna Boy hosting concerts there.
Dog shows.
Ish, but anyway, it is. Yeah, but back to FPL, Mario. I think for me, those are the fixtures. Maybe I can also ask you maybe a fixture that I think you're definitely looking forward to. Nottingham versus Chelsea. How do you see your guys, or rather, how do you see Chelsea winning this one away from home with
If
the
we can't
stakes?
beat Nottingham Forest away from home with the cheese on the line, then we do not deserve to play Champions League. It's as simple as that.
Well said.
If we don't beat them, we don't deserve it to play Europa League. It's fine. I won't die. I won't leave Chelsea. I'll continue supporting. I'll watch the games next season. It happens. If the boys are serious, which I really hope they are, because I've been supporting you guys since I was like 12 years old. Win that game.
Yeah.
Not scrounge over the line, win that game. Finish in class.
No, hundreds. Any other fixture that you're looking at probably for points?
I think Bournemouth is going to chow Leicester.
Bournemouth chowing Leicester.
So there might be something there. Brighton chow Spurs, so definitely something for Brighton there. And Villa chows Man United, so something for Villa there. So just those bottom 5 teams, the teams that are facing them.
Okay.
It's the people you can target. Those bottom 5 in. Do I need to list them again, or we know they are?
No, you can list them. Just remind the listeners.
We're talking about. We're talking about Southampton. I'll name them in order. Southampton, and then it's Leicester, and then it's Ipswich, and then it's it's Ipswich, then Leicester, and then it's Tottenham Hotspur, and it's Glory Man United. Hey,
It's incredible. What a season, eh?
What's that form? It's 4 losses and 1 draw.
Incredible. But Mario, captaincy. We spoke about the fact that between you and I, it might go down to who we captain and triple captain. The same can be said about most mini leagues. Most managers, we're not the only ones sitting in this situation. Others are fighting for champions, for titles, especially in our Gameweek38, the most competitive mini league that has ever existed. And I think I'm proud of what we've built here, but it's incredible. I mean, the level of competition that exists here
I can't believe where I am on the table. That's what hurts.
Is unbelievable. And we see JP is going to be the first manager to win it back to back.
Back to back, Jordan 96-97. Whoa.
He's going to be winning it back to back.
My nigga Drake. He's draking it.
Like the cover of, Lethal Weapon.
Back to back, like I'm on the cover of Lethal Weapon. Yeah.
So
you're talking Mark Gibson.
Exactly. So, yeah, man, I think captaincy is going to be very important. Who do we captain? I know you won't probably want to give it, give your strategies away, but I don't think you've even figured it out yet. I don't think you've figured it out yet as well.
What number you got? 22.
Put some respect there, man. 22. I'm somewhere. Put some respect there, Mario.
If it was Premier League, it'd be 2 places underneath the bottom.
And you, where would you be?
I'm not asking for anyone's respect.
Where would you be?
I'm not asking for any respect. No.
But Mario, who do we captain? I mean,
but what a season by JP. He's about 37 points. I mean, if Petro has a sleeve, something up his sleeve, anything can happen. anything, just 37
It
points.
comes down to the captains.
But I mean, what a season JP has had. He's ran the race this whole season. I mean,
he needs to finish the race.
Mateo, big ups to you for fighting.
Mateo, I honestly,
fighting and
I feel
being
like
in the
he's
top
also one of
three.
the most impressive, I think, standout managers. For me.
Yeah, he might even, if there was a most improved award, my friend.
I think
we're
he's
getting
the breakout manager. I think seeing Mateo, I think there's so many familiar names that is surrounded with JP, Petro, Neil, former champion Ryan, also former champion Kyle looked strong at some point.
Yeah.
Keegan.
Yeah, I think maybe the wedding plans got to him.
Keegan,
that's
and then he
Kyle
dropped.
dropped
I would agree. I think he can be excused there.
Yeah, we can
Keegan, a
excuse
very
him.
strong competitor as well. So Mateo is really surrounded by some great managers up there. So
Best
shout out
cream of the crop.
to Mateo for a breakthrough
Look
season.
at Dixon in the top 12.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fighting.
These guys. Shout out to Dixon. Project Mbappe going on there at Dixon's camp. But Mario, you still haven't answered the question. Captaincy?
I know you guys have been waiting long for this decision. And with my triple captain, I've decided to captain Mamush, his grandmother. No, I'm joking. But what a strike by him then.
What a strike.
Okay.
Do you think he's going to repeat it?
It's not easy.
Mm.
It's not easy. But let me see. It's tricky because it's tricky, my friend.
I don't know.
I
don't think Mario has struggled so hard
Hey,
in the many seasons that he
it
has
might
been
be
here
a Villa player or a Brighton player.
to predict
Just because they're
or
playing
to
Manchester
recommend
United.
a captain. But there's Arsenal. I mean, we wrote off
they're going
Arsenal.
to play boys.
I would agree.
They're going to play a young team, give a lot of players minutes. So I'm leaning towards.
Let's think about this.
I'm
The
leaning
prize
towards a
money
man.
is still there. I think they would want to ensure that their finances are in order. Finishing second is
Well,
better than finishing.
they're definitely finishing second. I mean, even if they play small boys, they likely get a point against Spurs.
Is it?
Against Southampton, which is enough.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, they're playing them at home. They'll put in some experienced players. It's just about which ones.
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth,
Evan
Nielsen, maybe. Man City.
Mateta against Liverpool.
I
I feel like Liverpool also there's
Yeah,
potential.
no.
Eze, Eberiche.
Mateta. Yeah.
Rogers.
Eze reliable. Rogers. Watkins maybe with a big bang against United. Yeah. Isaac.
Bowen,
maybe
Ipswich. I think we touched on Bowen.
blows up against Everton. Bowen. Mitoma, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Minte.
Yeah.
It's just like a.
The toss. It's a 50-50. It's a 50-50.
That's,
You heard.
That's where we are.
You heard. If you have a triple captain
But
like
we list a couple of players. So it's just
yeah,
about
for you guys to pick from. But Mario, I mean, let's bid our farewell for this season. What a season it's been. The support has been amazing. I don't know from our technical team. I don't know if you've checked the numbers. How are we doing on YouTube? We went on YouTube, I think, towards the end of 2024.
Yes.
I think the channel went live when October, November,
Yeah, maybe I think
around that time.
September, October. So.
September, October. It's been tough. I mean, we are still, figuring some things out. And as you know, but before things look really good and amazing, there's a lot of trial and error, and our team has been working really hard. And I mean, on our side, we've been doing, the best that we can to stay innovative, to get all the latest information, bringing you the best analysis, from our technical team.
So we started on the 29th of August 2024.
Yeah.
It's episode 3.
Okay.
We had 184 views
Okay.
for the first video.
Okay.
And then now we have done 92 subscribers, 144 views.
Okay.
And average time 5 hours and 9 minutes.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not
For
bad.
the first season.
And what is the most
No
viewed
promos.
content there? I know we also had reels that were going there.
Okay, so the reels, the most viewed reels, let me just double check.
I mean, we're looking at numbers. Numbers don't lie. So we really appreciate the support, guys. Even if we're talking to the bots, keep it up. You know,
Bought away.
Bot away. So yeah, man. I think while our technical team still getting some numbers, many thanks from our side to you guys for the support that you've shown us. And yeah, man. I think you guys should look out for all the announcements that will come in during the off season, winter in the southern hemisphere, right? Summer in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah, there's a FIFA Club World Cup.
There's a
coming
FIFA
up.
Club World Cup that is coming, so we're gonna be entertained.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we might put out 1 or 2 shows commenting.
We might just look
because
up
what
in
is
the
it?
spaces.
It's a 3-month break. I
Is
think
it
we can afford
3
to give you
months?
guys 1 or 2 good content.
Do check out. We could be
So-
coming from different platforms, you know.
Exactly.
There's so many
Just
mediums.
maybe talk on the Club World Cup a
You know.
little bit and what's happening in football transfers.
Exactly. The transfers.
Just keep you guys updated and so you guys don't miss our faces
You
too
know what
much.
it is. You know what it is. So yeah, man. I think we'll also let you know. We'll post here and there on what Mario is getting up to during the off season. He's working hard on his guns. So you know, hopefully you're gonna see him at the gym at some time. I might join him. Who knows? But yeah, man. We'll keep you guys posted on how we're celebrating, or rather, we're enjoying our off season. We think like footballers. It's also the end of the season for us, right? So we're also gonna be taking a break. Yeah, I don't know about maybe travel. I was at the Euros last season. Who knows? Maybe I might go to the USA. Who knows?
For that
Club World Cup.
FIFA Club World Cup.
But yeah, man. I think looking forward to the time off. But Mario, I don't know. In closing and going into the last game week, what do you have to say?
Yeah, you know, like I always say, keep your eyes on the numbers and the numbers in your mind. It's the last game week, so pick wisely because there's no second chances. And always remember, men lie, women lie, but numbers never lie, baby.
You heard. Numbers never lie. From us to you guys, we shall catch you guys in the next episode. We out. Cheers.
Peace.